Okay, this is a level check. Meteorologist Steve Horstmeyer checking out the levels just before we go live here. It is now 7:15 and it is time for the First Alert Weather Show. I've just got to get my mic on here and you might hear it being a little bit scratchy right now. Okay, there we go. All right, so we are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, and we are also live on Roku and the other platforms, including the First Alert Weather app, the First Alert News app, and the Fox 19 Now website, along with Apple TV, as I said, Roku, and a couple others. All right, so this is what we're looking at as we are looking to the northeast. That's Interstate 71 down there on the right. And we are looking out toward Norwood, and you see the cloud cover out there, but you don't see any precipitation coming down, which is good news because, we do have some snow on the way, but that snow is really not going to be much of a factor as far as your activities go. Temperatures drop to 35 degrees. The wind chill's in the upper 20s, so it is a cold, cold evening. Here's our other view, and again, you've got good visibility there, so you know there's no precipitation coming down between the camera on our tower in South Fairmont and downtown Cincinnati, about 4 miles away. Okay, airport temperatures look like this. Again, 35 at CVG. It has dropped to 32 in Richmond. It's in the 30s everywhere in the Fox 19 Now viewing area. Portsmouth's not in our viewing area. It's close by. And so we started off in the mid-50s this morning. We've dropped into the mid-30s, and so that's a good 20-degree temperature drop during the day today. And in the last 24 hours, between 7 p.m. yesterday and 7 p.m. today, the temperature in Hamilton has dropped 29 degrees. Also 29-degree drop at Madison, 28 at CVG, 27 in Batesville and Harrison. So a big, big difference out there. A little bit of cold air can make a big, big change as far as what you wear and what your activities are going to be like. So let's go ahead and take a look now at the latest wind chill values. And you can see the wind chills in the 20s throughout most of the tri-state, although there's still a couple that are not quite that cold out to the east, and Richmond, Indiana, down to a wind chill of 19. The latest sustained wind speeds. Notice it's still pretty windy out there. 32 mile an hour sustained winds in Wilmington, 22 in Middletown, Richmond, Lebanon, 21 at CVG, 20 in Maysville, and the winds are gusting. Look at this. 46 in Wilmington, 44 in Springboro are the latest wind gust. Those are the only two areas that are above 40. And remember, those are pretty wide open spaces up that way up north. Everybody else is lower than that, and the winds will continue to diminish, and we are going to cancel the First Alert Weather Day. So let's see, Wilmington peaked at 53, CVG at 46, Lunken at 46. And again, if we go back to that graphic we just looked at, we have to Springboro at 44. So again, Springboro would fit in there with Maysville, Kentucky at 44, and those are the highest wind gusts that we have seen during the day today. So it's still kind of blustery out there, and we've had a few power outages, but again, if the trees had been leafed out and all that, and the leaves would be out all the way, those leaves catch so much of that wind, it would have been much worse with power outages because a number of tree limbs would have come down. So I hit the wrong button. I didn't want to do that one. We'll come back to this in a minute, but there is the satellite radar loop, and what you see here is you see coming around the low, you see this snow shower activity pushing like this. Again, according to this, it's already snowing in Lewis counties, parts of Mason, Robertson, Bracken, and there's more on the way. We'll get less than an inch of snowfall. Air temperatures will remain above freezing as it's falling. Ground is fairly warm from all that warm weather we had for a good 30 hours. It was way above freezing. And so once the snow ends after midnight, the roads will dry out quickly because of the brisk winds that are expected to continue. So we're not looking at a big problem for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, any area that might be sheltered from the wind, let's say a rural road, little dip behind some trees or whatever, the road won't dry out. There could be an icy patch, but that's the exception rather than the rule. And so once again, we are looking at temperatures at 35 degrees. Now, you know what drives me crazy? I just updated all those temperatures, and for some reason, the 7 p.m. one didn't take. Okay, I must have made a mistake, but I had 7 p.m. at 35, and that's what it is right now. So I'm not really sure what's going on there because I just updated that before I came here into the streaming studio. Overnight, dropping to about 31 officially. There will be some areas that drop into the 20s. Wind chills will be in the upper teens and lower 20s as you head out the door. And then tomorrow, a high of 42. That'll be more than likely right around 5 p.m. Sunset tomorrow at 6:37. Okay, now this model was a little bit fast with bringing that precipitation into the area, but we do have fairly widespread light, wet snow in the area at 11 p.m. Notice that all the temperatures there are at or above freezing, and again with warm ground, that means wet situation rather than an icy one. And with the winds pretty brisk overnight, the road should have no trouble drying out, but you do see temperatures dropping below freezing by 3 a.m. And by the time we get to the morning commute, no more precipitation in the area, and roads dry from the brisk winds overnight. All right. Future wind gusts by 11:30 p.m. We're still having winds gusting to 43 miles an hour in Wilmington, according to this particular model. By 1 a.m., we're looking at winds a little bit lower, but still gusty. By the time we get to the morning commute, we are talking about winds gusting to 40 in Wilmington, 39 in Hillsborough, 38 in West Union, 36 in Vanceburg, even as far west as Lawrenceburg, 37. So it's going to be a blustery morning around the tri-state. Keep that in mind that wind chill is going to be significant as you head out the door in the morning. Okay. Now, everyone, I don't know why this happens, but every once in a while we get a patch in here that comes in with the wrong color. And in this case, it's this, okay, now that I look at it. So, and I'm not really sure why this is. This is a file that is what they call a KML or KMZ format, which is a Google Earth format. And somehow every once in a while, but this should be red. So all this is warmer than normal. So the 11th through the 15th of March, from Colorado east to the mid-Atlantic states, from Wisconsin and Michigan south to the Gulf, warmer than normal around the tri-state. And I'm not sure why that happens. I'm going to have to fix that on our streaming channel. Okay, and then from the 13th to the 19th of March, it stays warmer than normal. And of course, this was what came out last Friday. Looks like as we head through the end of the month, we stay warmer than normal around the tri-state. Now that'll be updated this Friday. Above normal precipitation in the forecast with a 6 to 10 day outlook, 8 to 14 day outlook. Still have above normal precipitation with that little La Nina bullseye there, and it pretty much stays that way in our neck of the woods through the end of the month. So here's your 7-day forecast. We are looking at a low temperature dropping off to 29 tonight with wind chills in the upper teens and lower 20s. 42 the high tomorrow, and still blustery throughout the day. Not quite as windy as today, but still blustery and cold. 33 and 48 for Friday with a chance of an isolated light sprinkly shower. Saturday and Sunday both look dry. We've got a low of 30 Saturday, a low of 28 Sunday. Now don't forget that you spring ahead Saturday when you go to bed. Okay, that means you wake up on Sunday, it's daylight saving time. Skies partly cloudy through the weekend, and a good day for a game down at TQL Stadium. FC Cincinnati is going to play with temperatures around 50 early in the game, dropping into the upper 40s. Monday, 62, 70 on Tuesday, 69 on Wednesday, with the chance for a few brief light showers around the tri-state. So we have a nice little brief warming trend here. And now we're going to go beyond the 7-day forecast to see what it looks like as we head, as we head deeper into March. So we're looking at 4 days in a row from the 13th through the 16th in the 60s. Just in time for St. Paddy's Day, we're looking at 49 for the high. So a chilly day with more than likely some rain. It's going to feel like Ireland. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, high temperatures at or below normal. So the first 4 days in the 60s, warmer than normal, then cooler than normal for 2, and then back to about normal for that Wednesday. So here's what it looks like. Okay, there are the high temperatures, there are the low temperatures. We take a line, draw it there, and you can see that we've got a good stretch, 7 days in a row with temperatures warmer than normal on the high and low side, and then a brief dip below normal before going back above normal by the 19th. And that fits and is consistent with what the Climate Prediction Center is saying for the tri-state. Okay, time to take a look at Facebook now. Let's see here. Who do we have? Susan Wally says, good evening, a blustery day. Oh, yeah, no doubt about that. It was very blustery out there with, again, let me see what I've got here on the screen. Okay, I'm going to put me on the screen, so when I'm talking to you, it doesn't feel like you're talking to some disembodied voice. And then we'll go to those wind gusts, the highest wind gusts that we saw today. And here is what we saw as far as high wind gust goes. Coming up in a second, takes a little while to load it. Okay, so we had 53 miles an hour up in Wilmington at the Wilmington Air Park. CVG at 46. It was 46 at Lunken, 45 in Falmouth, and both Maysville and Springboro. Springboro just reported that, so we didn't have time to put it on here. But both Maysville and Springboro hit 44 miles an hour. So that was a pretty good wind gust. And again, if this would have been later in the season and the trees would have all been leafed out, you would have had a lot more in the way of power outages because those leaves catch a lot of wind. People don't really understand that, but here's an experiment you can try to let you know how much air leaves will catch. Drive along in your car, stick your arm out like this so that your hand is horizontal. You know, the wide part of your hand is horizontal. Keep your fingers spread out, and then just do this. And you'll see how much wind that can catch. And if you put the fingers back together, it catches even more. So if you get trees that are completely leafed out, that catches a lot of wind, it breaks a lot of limbs, it takes down a lot of power lines. And a day like this would have been one with massive, or not massive necessarily, but widespread power outages around the tri-state, with 2 spots at 44 and 53 up in the Wilmington area. Okay, so let's go back. And let's see, what else do we have? Arlene Angel Thompson. She says, snoring in Liberty, Indiana. Does that mean because I'm boring? I hope not. Oh, well. But Arlene, thanks for watching. Garnet Rothwell, good evening. How's your wife doing? Hey, my wife's doing fine. Okay, it's her right hand. She's got 4 pins. I guess it's on this side of the hand, 4 pins. A screw hole that had to go through the joint here to help the little finger, that's permanent, that helped the little finger here heal. And she's got 4 pins that are holding different bones together. And she's doing well. No signs of infection on that. She's going to work. And my wife's the kind of person who doesn't like to sit around. So she does a lot. And she does all her exercises, as the doctor says. So she's being a good patient. Braden Selmeyer said he had shorts on this morning. Yeah, I'll bet you don't now, though, Braden. Or if you did, you're tougher than I am. Okay, and Jess Carver said, will the winds ever die down tonight? Okay, Jess, they won't be as high as they are right now, but you will still have a few spots even tomorrow morning when you head out to work and school or wherever you're going in the morning with winds gusting close to 40 miles an hour. So not much of a die down. A little bit, but not much overnight. Okay. All right, let me go back and review the forecast stuff again. Let's see, go back to okay, let me go back to the satellite radar loop. We'll start there, and we will kind of review what's going on. It's for anybody that just joined and may have missed what's going on. Okay, so this is the satellite radar loop, and what you see is an area of snow coming our way. Now, this is kind of this. Because we use we're using multiple radars in this image, it makes it look more widespread than it is. It's very light, and there is light snow falling in places from Carroll, Owen, and Gallatin counties eastward into Lewis County and Adams County in Ohio. And that'll be with us through much of the evening, but air temperatures and road temperatures will cooperate and make it just a wet situation if you have any plans to be outside this evening. So the evening forecast, again, not sure why that 38 is still there. I must have missed a number when I went to change them all, but we're thinking it'll be around 35 till about 11 p.m. when it'll drop to 34. Overnight, look for a low of about 31 with wind chills in the upper teens and lower 20s in the morning. Winds still kind of gusty. And then high tomorrow, about 42 degrees, and it'll be blustery. So 42 sounds better, but it's going to be a chilly 42 because of the wind chill out there. Okay, now here's what the model that I've been using shows. Now this was 5 p.m. and it was a little bit on the fast side, but it kind of slowed down for a while. And it says by 11 o'clock, most areas getting a little bit of light snow. And again, air temperatures warmer than freezing. Ground temperatures fairly warm from the warm air we had up into this morning. And so just wet roads. The precipitation comes to an end overnight. The winds stay brisk, and that's going to dry things out. Winds are very good at drying out roads. And so it looks like, for the most part, dry roads with that chance that there'll be an isolated icy patch on a rural road that's sheltered from the wind. So that's that. And then here are the winds for the person that asked about the winds dying down. At 11:30 p.m., the Wilmington area still may have gusts to 43. 34 in Vanceburg, Maysville at 36, 38 in Florence. And so the winds do die down, but they stay pretty brisk overnight. And as we head into the morning commute, you can see it right here. It stops at 6:30. You can see a gust of 40 still in Wilmington, Middletown 38, 33 in Cincinnati, Hamilton and Dry Ridge at 36, along with Vanceburg, West Union at 38, Batavia, Georgetown, and Maysville, along with Lebanon, having 36-mile-an-hour wind gusts for the morning commute. And that means it is going to be cold and kind of blustery as you head out the door. Okay, Climate Prediction Center says that big light blue area in the eastern U.S. should be a red shade. I don't know what happened with the file we downloaded, but warmer than normal in the eastern U.S., warmer than normal through the 19th, and warmer than normal through the 31st. So most of the month of March looks warmer than normal. Wetter than normal by a little bit. Still wetter than normal and still wetter than normal, so more precipitation than normal with temperatures slightly warmer than normal through the rest of the month of March. So your 7-day forecast looks like this. Tonight's low 29 with those wind chills dropping into the teens and 20s tomorrow morning, 42 the high on Thursday, 33 and 48 on Friday with a few isolated showers. Partly cloudy for Saturday and Sunday. Saturday's low 30, 28 on Sunday. We spring ahead for Saturday night when you go to bed. That means daylight saving time is here starting Sunday morning. Sunday, TQL Stadium is going to be busy with FC Cincinnati playing. Should be a good day for that. And then Monday and Tuesday, we make it into the 60s, then to 70 with 69 on Wednesday and a few showers. That fairly warm weather continues for the first 4 days of beyond the 7-day. But as we head to St. Patrick's Day, it begins to get cooler. And then it bounces back up to 61 on the 19th. And then again, with this particular weather pattern, we're in each and every one of those days has a chance of a shower. Doesn't mean it's going to rain all those days. That's not going to happen. It's just that we'll have a number of weak systems come through the tri-state, and we have to pin down the timing to figure out exactly when the rain's going to fall. But essentially, each day has that chance of getting a little bit of rain. Okay, high temperatures and low temperatures put on the normal high and low lines, and you can see most of the time we are above normal in this next 14 days, although we do have a dip towards the end of that where we go back below normal for a day or two. So, okay, then let's see here what we've got. Let's see if we've got any more comments on Facebook. Oh yeah, I got a few here. Let's see here. Okay, Bill Wooten. What's going on the Big Mac Bridge? Is there something going on again? I don't know. I don't know of anything going on, but I think it was this morning there was somebody running away from a robbery being chased by the police that tied up traffic there. But I don't know of anything going on right now. Hang on. Let me, I tell you what. Now, Bill, what we can do here is check and see if it looks like there's anything going on. I've got a camera set up. All I've got to do is find it. Okay, you'll see it pop up here behind me in a second. No, I don't see anything going on there. Those lights, and it's a stop action camera. So I don't see anything going on. It looks like traffic's moving along okay. If you were referring to this morning, that was because there was somebody that committed a robbery that was running from the police. So I don't know if that's what you mean, but it doesn't look like there's anything really big going on right now. Okay. Molly Purcell, good evening. It started to spit snow in Pleasant Plain. Wow, 54 and cold now. So yeah, from 54, cold now with snow. And then Garnet Rothwell, always looking for something good. Now, I know the wind is kind of a pain. It's nasty. It feels horrible. But he says his wind chimes have played some beautiful music all day today. So that's a good way to look at it, Garnet. Okay, that's it, guys. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow evening at 7:15. Now, I'm off on Friday, so our new meteorologist, Erin Ashley, will be doing the 7:15 live weather show. And she's from Milford originally, so she's a local person. She went to Ohio University, the same place that Ethan went to learn her meteorology, so you can trust what she has to say. She knows her stuff. Okay, that's it. Thank you for joining me. Have yourself a nice evening and a nice night, and I hope to see you tomorrow.